Welcome to the Lawless Astrology channel. My name is Dabney. I'm an evolutionary astrologer, and today I'm going to be talking about this big full moon on Friday, November 15th, what this means for all of us, how we can handle it on a personal level, and also what it might imply collectively. This is another car video and I forgot my microphone, so just bear with me. I'm sorry about the poor audio quality, but I wanted to get this done and out there as soon as possible so everybody can be prepared for Friday, because it's big energy on the horizon. So on this channel, what we do is we look at how the cosmos supports us individually down here on planet Earth to live a more conscious and peaceful life. And so that's what we're going to be talking about today. So if this is content you're interested in, please do stick around. Okay, so Friday is a big day. We have a full moon in Taurus, and as a reminder, whenever there's a full moon, things come to fruition. We start to see things clearer. It's like a light is being shined, and we understand, like, think of the full moon, like the sky is brighter, right? There is something kind of coming to culmination. Well, it's in the sign of Taurus, and Taurus is a very peace-loving sign that wants to keep things the way they are. It doesn't really like change. Well, we have Uranus right there within a degree on this new full moon. So a full moon means that the sun and the moon are opposite one another. So this Taurus moon is opposite the Scorpio sun. And we have Uranus, which is the god of change and upheaval and lightning strikes and shocking revelations, is going to be sitting right next to that Taurus moon. Okay, so let's first go collective, right? So collectively, we can expect shocks. We can expect information and revelations to come into our awareness. Things will be revealed that we were not expecting, or maybe we have been expecting, that we had a more intuitive understanding, but now it's kind of all out there in the world, and it's bringing our unconscious, that Scorpio sun, it's making things conscious. That Uranus is opposing that Scorpio sun, making things conscious, making us understand how the world is, not going back. Things have changed. The game has changed. So Taurus, again, doesn't enjoy this sort of change. So there is this kind of push-pull, and there may be some real cognitive dissonance where, revelations or shocks happen, but people aren't really interested in seeing the truth. They really don't want things to change, or they don't want things to rock their world, because Taurus doesn't want their world rocked. They want things to be the way they've always been. They want to kind of hibernate and stay under, a beautiful tree smelling the flowers, right? So we have to kind of realize that this may be this very uncomfortable feeling for some people. And as most of you know, where I sit on the political aisle, I don't want to make this too much about politics, but collectively, this is why astrologers have been saying this isn't settled yet, because we have these big changes. And this is also why astrologers said this was always going to be a very, very challenging time and a very challenging election. And no one really liked the chart of this election, because there was sort of what was going on during the election, but then there was, like, immediately after, we have this Uranus conjunct the moon opposite Scorpio, and then also we have Saturn going stationary direct, and I'll talk about that in a minute. And then we also have Mars is going to be going retrograde. So and there's also astrobabble, but a T-square. Anyway, a lot going on. But what I want to kind of get across for us on this channel, because our goal here is to find peace and consciousness, is understand that there is something bigger at work. There is kind of a greater cosmic tapestry that we are all a part of. And as I said in my last video, there's a high road and a low road for everything, and we can't control what other people do. So we can only control ourselves. And that's what I want you to focus on at this time, because the high road of this Taurus full moon is finding inner peace in the midst of any kind of chaos or disruption. It is about finding your own grounding and knowing that you're going to be okay, that Stephen Miller may be the Secretary of State or whatever, Kristi Noem may now be in charge of FEMA. These things happen. But it doesn't mean that you can't find inner peace. And it doesn't mean that there isn't something bigger going on that we can't see the ending of now. So I don't want you to get trapped in a loop of false hope. I think there's a lot of people I see on a lot of the astrologers and psychic channels, like people saying like, oh, I believe like Kamala will be president. I want you to be realistic about this. We may think or know that things didn't go down the way we expected them to. There may be shenanigans. I don't know. But I do know that we have a very conservative Supreme Court that's really kind of already declared their intentions. So I want you to be really realistic and understand that the winds of change are still coming. And it may be how we get to the end of the story. It may be how we get to a higher consciousness is going to be filled with, a lot of bumps along the road and a lot of pain. But that doesn't mean our whole world has to be rocked. People we love will be impacted, but it doesn't mean that we have to spin out. So Taurus, the high side really is finding safety, finding comfort, finding meaning in the peace within. Really, what do you value? So I had picked a card for this, and I thought that this was really, really apropos. You are being offered a spiritual gift. Your path need not be one of endless exertion. Connecting with pleasure is a path of personal empowerment, intending to bring spiritual benefit to the collective through the softening and opening of your heart, is an act of worshiping the divine feminine. Let yourself receive her loving gifts. And this is what the card looks like. So I guess what I want to say is there might be some surrender of letting things play out. The F around and find out. There might be something in that helps us get to where we need to go. So people are going to find out what they thought they were voting for, what they are actually getting. I think there are some people that are already confused and starting to see that it wasn't quite what they were originally told. So just be patient. Taurus is very patient. So I want this moon to rule in your hearts and be patient. Truths will be revealed, but they may be hard truths. And you may have to surrender to the hard truth that even if something comes out that is very disturbing or frustrating or rocks your world or is shocking, you may not be able to do anything about it. So personally and collectively, how do we find peace in that? That's, I think, where we need to be with this full moon, is allow yourself space. Don't let yourself get spun up. That's the higher road. See the truth. Have faith that a greater understanding will emerge. But it's not necessarily going to be the outcome immediately that you anticipate or expect or want. And this can be in our personal lives too. So collectively, I say there are unexpected things coming. There are shocking revelations. There are hard truths, but there are hard truths for everybody on both sides. So the hard truth for us may be that it's beyond our control. We have to surrender to that and not have, I mean, there's definitely a binary, right? There's no landslide. It really was 50-50. So 50-50 means that half the country sees things one way and the other half of the country sees things another way. It's Jupiter and Gemini. Our mission is to find unity, but that's going to take a little time. And how we're going to get there is going to be, wow, lots of change and lots of dramatic shifts. And so preparing you personally for these dramatic shifts means finding your grounding now. This Taurus moon is an opportunity to take stock in where you are grounded and don't need to get spun up. Don't let Uranus rock your world and make you go this way and that way. It's more about freedom and liberation. Personally, this offers the opportunity for the liberation from the noise. So this is the high road for you personally, is turn off cable news, unsubscribe to all these news feeds. It doesn't mean don't stay informed, okay? But don't get spun up. If you watch other channels that tell you that everything's going to be okay and other people cheated and don't worry, I would caution you a little bit on that one too, because that's part of the Saturn stationary direct, is hard truths. And sit with that hard truth. Sit with the hard truth that this is out of our control and we don't really understand the final destination of where we're going as a country. Fresh energy is coming, but there's going to be a process. It's just more of a process. And you can stay grounded and centered. You know, Buddhist teachings are a lot about non-attachment. This is a non-attachment time. Don't be attached to an outcome. Have faith. And, you know, I'm such a Cancer, but bake some cookies with your grandchildren. Remember that in our own personal lives, no matter what's happening politically, there is, you know, people are taking care of their husbands that are ill. People have, you know, loved ones with addictions. These things are all a part of the tapestry of life. And so for you to find grounding in your role in this tapestry of life is the best thing that you can do. And the gift that I want you to give yourself is take care of yourself. Pamper yourself on Friday. Don't turn on the news on Friday. There's absolutely no reason to. You'll hear about whatever is going to come down the pike. But take a nice walk in the woods. Breathe in the beauty of nature. At the end of the day, that is the gift that is being revealed to us, is that despite all of the changes, there is freedom and liberation in finding inner peace and groundedness. So karma has a way of working things out. And with Saturn going stationary direct and Mars going retrograde, there may be some interesting things coming. Either way, you can take a walk in the woods and you can observe the woodpeckers and you can walk by the beach and look for starfish. So, okay. That is my reading. I hope the audio isn't too bad. As always, please like, subscribe, share. It is probably going to be a tense-filled weekend, but it doesn't have to be for you, okay? And I'm telling this for myself. I think I picked another card that I was going to read to you. It takes strength of spirit not to override inner knowing within social pressure or an inhuman expectation of constant performance. Trust in the shifting cycles to give yourself what you need for well-being. No being benefits when you are at odds within yourself. You have an inner power and capacity to be at peace within your being now. Be at peace. I know it's hard, but there's a reason and a season. The universe is conspiring to help us. Like, subscribe, share, and thank you for your grace and understanding the car and the no microphone.